Good day, everyone. It is Thursday, September 19th, 2019, and this is the Bull Market Watch. We don't want to miss the chart formations in our big six cryptos traded on BitMEX today. We've had some amazing moves, but these chart formations are important. I want to say thank you for joining me on this BitMEX trading focused live stream. There are so many great crypto channels out there. I appreciate you following along here. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. In the first 15 minutes, we're going to look at the big six altcoins and compare our indicators across the time frames. But as I was preparing today, I found some unexpected data and I want to verify that in the live stream as we put on some testnet trades. Then we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance, and we'll finish with an overview of the Patreon altcoin market watch spreadsheet. There are so many amazing setups out there right now. It is crazy. It's like you got to be able to filter out all of these good ones to get down to the ones that are going to give you the best returns now. And then when the video is finished, I want to share a personal story about a trading journal entry of mine from 2014. This was back before I discovered Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Let's jump in now. I'm going to rudely stop the music and brush by our disclaimer. This isn't trading advice, even though we're going over some such specific examples. It's just a reflection against my trading plan. It's sort of my trading journal that you get to look over my shoulder here. So, good morning. Hey, good to see you guys along. I was going to say hello and let me know where you're from. Trader Retuto from Italy, good to have you along. M. Babs, good morning. Bickham Trepka from London. Greetings from Norway, good to have you along. Ian Van Frick, good to have you here. Now, where are we on the charts? First of all, I want to start off with a quick scan of the charts. But before I do that, let me segue off and say that I've created an ultimate BitMEX tutorial, and it's available on Kindle for 99 cents. It goes along with this live stream because we're going to go through and put on some trades here today on testnet.bitmex.com, and just to play around and do some examples, make this into a practical live stream. The things I want to look at here in this stream is this potential top formation, or is it a potential continuation formation? This is what I want to drag out of our indicators today and have them tell us which one it is. This is where I found the unexpected information. Here is EOS. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame since the 8th of September when we did that live stream, and I was saying, I'm not buying it on this one. It's just too small of a bottom formation. It's just not taking off. I'm more thinking Bitcoin is going to be going up. And you can see here which was correct. So it's always good to go back to that specific day in the journal and look at the indicators and relearn for myself, make some more notes, and when that comes up again, I'm not going to be tricked. Now, what's going on with these we're going to see. Let's go into Ethereum. Ethereum has been making some great moves, and just looking at this right now, it sort of is the spoiler. Litecoin, building out of this little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, made a trend continuation 1, 2, 3 formation here and just blasted straight off. Just a beautiful formation, a great example of the 1, 2, 3 setting up and breaking out higher. Absolutely setting up wonderfully. And these markets are the first. There's a whole raft of them setting up in the altcoins right now, all over the place. Here's Bitcoin. And just to quickly look at Ripple, also on the very same day, the very same time, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, made another 1, 2, 3. It made this beautiful consolidation here, an ascending wedge triangle, while Bitcoin was making a descending wedge triangle and testing bottoms. But sensibly, this took off and Bitcoin crashed. Now, I want to dig in. Buongiorno. I think I'm saying that sort of right because I've heard people say good morning in Italian on movies, but I'm language inept. So this won't be hard, I don't think. As we go into this on the 1 hour time frame, the RSI, let's go to the 4 hour time frame. For me, the RSI is looking bullish. we've got really lots of bullish crosses here. And I've only set up the one chart here with all the indicators in it. I don't know if I'll like this or not. I like to have the separate charts. But we can start to see how these things are correlating together, where we have this bottom formation and the 1, 2, 3 in the RSI. When we had this come back and consolidate, we had the RSI make a divergence here. Put that back. And this was making a 1, 2, 3 formation. Now that it's making a consolidation and the RSI is not going down, we're having a big swath up in volume. The MACD indicator is crossing positive on all of these phases. It's looking really great for a longer term move upwards. And it's always impossible to say, where should I take my profits? What should I do in a trade when you're in the trade? It's impossible because it depends on so many different factors, on where you got into the trade, what is your risk control plan. Some people are short-term traders and they want to buy maybe at the same time as I do, but then they want to start taking profits on the way up so that their position is getting smaller and smaller as the prices go up. This way they can ensure that they're going to make money if the markets are chopping sideways. So if the market continues to chop sideways after this, like this, then strategy 1 here is the best idea, to put on a big position and take it off as prices go up. That is the best idea. But if you are thinking that prices may go on a longer term trend, then this is not the best strategy. If prices are going to go up and stage here and go up again from there, then it's good to have your position here and your stop just above your entry and do nothing. Absolutely nothing while it's in this formation. Nothing at all. Wait. Let the market tell you how correct you are. And then add on to the trade in this formation here. So now you are bigger when you are correct and bigger on this long-term trend if we go on one. So there's 2 different ways to approach it. And it really depends on where your entry was, what your risk limit is, what your, what are your plans with your money? There's so many different variables to it. So what I try to do in the live stream is just stick on to what the indicators are telling us. So if I go into the 1 hour time frame, and then you can decide what you're doing with your trading. In the 1 hour time frame, we see that the RSI came up to overbought territory here. It's pulled back nicely. If this ticks up and we get some volume coming in, then I would say that this is going to be breaking higher above these levels, and this would be a buy signal, especially if we had this crossover. This would be an add-on buy signal on these conditions. And so whenever I want to put on a trade, I'm always making myself stop, double check all of my criteria, and then I want to double check what I'm going to share with you at the end of this video, my trading journal, because it really spoke to me. And I'll share more with you. Let me now go on to the next charts. Let's go on to EOS and the same strategy here. I want to go to the 4 hour time frame. First of all, we are getting good volume buying going on. I don't mind that the MACD is crossing and doing this oscillation here. I don't really like that the RSI is diverging, but the on-balance volume sort of makes up for it, so that there's nothing for me to do. If I got in here, especially, I'd put my stop loss here. Maybe I'd put my stop loss here, and I would do nothing. If I got in here, I would still have my stop above my entry, and I would do nothing. And if I haven't got into the market yet, there's still nothing for me to do on this. Let me zoom in and step back. That maybe I could do a top formation short sell here, but there's no buy signal. So this may be a short signal. If it breaks below these areas, it would be important, especially if our indicators are telling us something. We're at the 1 hour time frame. It's looking pretty weak. We've got a lot of selling going on. The RSI is holding its own there. Let's zoom in a little bit to see what we're seeing on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame is a little bit more positive. I like how it's gone into this oversold the same all the way along. And so then there would be a signal. If this was to cross negative and we got more on balance selling, it looks pretty negative actually. Let's see, there would be a signal if it broke down below these levels, and I could do a small little trade on that, but not very much because the overall trend change now is up. And so I'm not really looking for short sell signals out of any of these small little movements that only occurred over the last 2 weeks or whatever. I don't want to do short signals and try to fit in a trade between this level and this level. If it comes back to the 50% level, I don't want to play with that. Instead, I really want to watch for all of these to come back to those 50% levels. If they do, and if not, then I'll be happy to add on as this is breaking out. And we can talk about strategies for placing those orders, because if you FOMO in with a market order as it's breaking out, you're going to do the worst in your trading as possible with this strategy. Ethereum. Let's go to Ethereum. There it is, breaking out right now. So let's go to our indicators. Lots of volume. Everything's looking good. We're up into super overbought territories, however, on the 4-hour time frame. On the 12-hour time frame, this chart isn't quite as good, but it's still very overbought territories here. Really overbought. The thing that's supporting it is that we still... I was going to say this is supporting it is that it's going up so strongly, but that this is stopped instead of having longer skewers is telling me that it seems to be running out of steam. Even if this is wide and going up, if this is topping and running out of steam, that is important. So if we go back to see where those times were, if it's topping and running out of steam, that's important. And so the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation would leave me so that maybe I could put on a tiny position here because it's moving and taking off, and I don't want to leave myself sitting with no piece of the market. But this is the worst time for FOMOing in on something taking off. Look at how much this has gone up. It could keep going up, but the 1, 2, 3 formation gets you in as it's consolidating and building up a little wee spot. This has a lot of spot to come back for my own view. There's no support yet. I would love it to stop a while and do something, and then I could figure this market out. But let's see what the indicators are saying. That's the 12-hour is all good, very positive. In the 1-hour time frame, it looks like it's breaking out and continuing higher. Since it's going with the trend, a small position here on this cross, this is all good. All of these indicators here are good for an add-on right now. And so if I was going to add on to this trade, and I thought, yeah, I want to do this. I want to go on Ethereum. It seems like it's going to just keep going and going forever. Usually the worst time to buy. Let's continue on to Litecoin and see if there's a better entry opportunity that gives us a little better risk to reward ratio. So here, I like that this is pulled back very nicely all the way from this top to here. It is either going to break and go down further on this cross, more selling, and a break of this level, or we're going to continue on the uptrend. And if we do, let's zoom in on this. Then we have some really clear levels for that action. As we're zooming into the 15-minute time frame, we have sell signal areas all the way along here, and in ascending wedge triangles, they look terrible all the time. Looks like doom all the way along here. But I like this pattern. So a break above this width is more favorable to me than Ethereum, just because it's within these areas and gives me such a small little risk to reward ratio area. And I want to be paying attention to this to confirm, because we're on the 15-minute time frame. This should cross back positive as we are breaking out of that formation, and we'll get our signal right in here. So this will show us, all of these things will show us. We could, just sit and watch and wait. And then we could talk about the order entry so that you're not FOMOing in with a market order where you're paying the worst fees and you're doing it at the worst time of the market movement. There's the least amount to be able to buy. It causes so much loss when you go through and calculate the difference between better entry methods. Now here we are with Tron. I love Tron. I love this chart. Let's go to the 12-hour time frame. When we go into this time frame, it is crazy how this is all building up, and we have this volume setting up. Everything is looking so bullish off of this setup right now. It's just maddening. And here we have another really good setup. The only detail is this 4-hour EMA crossing over to the negative. But everything else is really good here. Let's zoom in from the 4-hour into the 1-hour time frame. I like that this is pulled back before the next wave up. This is good that it's pulled back before the next wave up, because it gives it that much more room to go to the overbought territory again. This can cross and go way up from here on this time frame. I like it. So these charts are really, I was coming in expecting top formations. We're going to be coming down. This is all going to be going poo-hoo. But as I get into these charts, I like them. I wasn't expecting further up yet. And then at the end of the video, I'll share my story with you, and it should help make some sense of my approach to this. Let's go back up to the chart. Hello from India. Wow, awesome. Hey, Willie Woods, good to have you along again. I love it. From Canada to India to Italy, Norway, London. Phenomenal. If you're on the live stream and you're from some different place in the world, let me know. I love to know where this is streaming out to. It's phenomenal. Now, let's go into Ripple. Oh, like this almost is reflexive now to see this kind of setup and this crossing positive as we've just had these lows rejected. And all of the other alts are all setting up as though they're going to be taking off. I wanted to go short on this. In fact, I did a short right here, got my stop loss just below my entry, and I got kicked out of the trade right away and thought, oh, geez, that's too bad. I want to try that short again. So now I'm looking at the short and saying, well, maybe, probably not, because I want to err on the side of the direction that the market is going. And this has the potential to just go into insanity. And so I want to take the risk of putting on some risk on these kind of chart formations. Let's go back into our indicators, clear this off, and zoom back out on this just to verify. The 1 hour is pulled back and given us that. It is crazy. I just love these charts when I see this stuff setting up like this, all of this pulling back as this starts to charge, and this is breaking these levels, going higher. It's a flag to say right now, a piece of your trade. And I'm going to go over that. Let's go over right now, Binance, because with Binance, I can go into a longer term chart and get a perspective of where we really are. From the 3,000 Satoshi level, going up to 10,000, 9,000, tripling in price, going up 300% is it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And you know what? I'm going to talk. I'm really excited about talk about this at the end of the live stream, because most people will lose money in a bull market. Prices are going up, and they're going up 300%, and most people will lose money trading out of these 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. Even though I've showed you the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations, I'm getting ahead of myself again here now. Even though we see the trend, even though we see the formations, even though I give the signal and the exit signal, most people don't make money trading this method, and I want to explain why at the end. Before I do that, let's put on a trade now. Let's go back to BitMEX. I wanted to do Litecoin. See that there's not much data here on BitMEX. It's kind of maddening when you try to go into long term. Now, I absolutely want to believe that this is going to go up and that all of my analysis is correct. And so many times I've done all the analysis, I really believe I'm correct. And immediately when I put on the trade, it doesn't prove me right. And so for that reason, I want to start off with a very small position and add on to it later if I'm correct. If I am correct, there's lots of time to add on to it. And I don't want to FOMO in with a market order as this is breaking out. I want to plan it ahead of time. And so what I'm going to do is zoom into this market, and I'm going to put a limit order right in behind it. Look at this zone. Algo is reaching into it. The 100 Eyes crypto scanner is pretty good if you haven't put that onto your Telegram. So let's go. Oh, I love this chart too. So many candies in this candy store right now. This chart isn't actually as accurate as the real BitMEX chart. It's kind of good. It's kind of okay. And it's good to practice the trading orders and stuff like that. So this is why I do it. So right now, let's go 3-to-1 leverage and see what I can do here. I have 0.0076 Bitcoin on this test account. So it's not real Bitcoin. I guess I have 0087. I must have an order out there. Active orders. AUD to buy 500 of them when it breaks 469. So for now, I'll just do this little trade on Litecoin as a demonstration. I want to do a limit order. I want to buy long. I want to post only to be sure that this goes into the order book and that I get paid market maker fees rather than market taker fees by going in with a market order. So I want to do this just below the market with a buy order. 75.30. 75.31. I always like to end it with a, okay, no one at the end. Now I want to click that in. Here are all the details about it. The cost, the available balance. So I'm not using my entire account. I want to have some to add on if I'm correct. So here is the order in the order books just below the market. Now, if I'm proven wrong, I'm going to have to close this position right away. I'm going to be wrong right away if I am wrong. So I'm going to put a stop loss order in already, a stop at the market. This is to close on trigger for one Litecoin, and I'll do it just below these levels here. It's an emergency stop loss that I don't want to actually use. So 74.65. 74.65. Then I'll set that sell stop. Here's all the details. And this is saying that because I don't actually have a contract open, blah, 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 blah. I go, yeah, I know I don't have a contract open. This is, if this comes down and tags me in, that's what I want. And if it continues to come down, I want to get out of that trade. And I don't want to hold it long because I'm clearly wrong. It has to click in and go up right away. So I'll monitor this. One of the things that I might have done better in the demonstration is to put that buy limit order way down here so that I could slide this up closer to the market. I want to get in there so I can slide it up. There we go. Order amended. So now I'm as close to the market as I can get. If it comes back and tags me in, I get paid the market maker fees. I don't FOMO into the market as it's breaking out and try to buy at the worst time possible. And then I have my stop loss ready to get out. Later, I can add on to this if I'm correct. So just a few different examples of putting it together, thinking through it, and then doing it on the test net, which isn't showing us the prices exactly as we are seeing them in the real world. It's close enough to practice the orders and stuff. So good to have you here. And I'm glad to have found that Litecoin, coincidentally, was one that stands out as the better trading opportunity, partly because of the chart pattern, partly because of what our indicators were telling us, and partly because of the risk to reward ratio, where if it breaks above these levels, I know I'm right. I can get my stop loss under my entry right away. But if it breaks down below these levels, it's so immediate that I know that I'm wrong, that I don't have to fool around waiting at all. I don't want to wait for the market to prove me wrong. As soon as it's not proving me correct, I'll get out that. Okay, so that goes through our 6 cryptos here. Now let's go over to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has made this wonderful top formation, and coincidentally, what was this date? The 5th, 6th, 7th, the 8th of September. This is the 8th of September was that magic date. Back, not enough data. The magic date right in here, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of September. All of these bottom formations are breaking out. Then they came back and gave us the golden pocket here. And while I didn't trade this golden pocket in Litecoin or in Ethereum, and I didn't trade it in Ripple, now it is setting up all over the place in the different altcoins. And there are loads of opportunities setting up right now. And I went through the Patreon bull market watch spreadsheet here this morning. And you can see AOL Chandra went through all the stuff on Binance and found that there are 69 markets now that are either in alert or in hold status. This is very bullish. That is half of the markets on Binance. And so not all of them are ready to go. Not all of them are in good position. And even within this group of 60, there's probably 8 or 10 that are super prime that we can sort through by looking at the risk to reward ratio. We can look at how high that the potential profit is just by looking at support and resistance from in the past. There are some great gold mines set up in here. Same thing in Poloniex. We can see the real big difference shaping up here over these last few days. We got 28 markets in hold and alert status. Crazy. We can see here in Binance how this has been changing from all of these fails, all of these near fails, everything going up into alert status. And now you can see that's neutral. Now we can see all of these alert statuses building up. Huge. A whole bunch of the best of the altcoins we've already identified. We're already into hold positions with these, and they are here in this spreadsheet. If you want to access it, become a patron. Support the channel, support the stream, and get some amazing data. Even more, I'll talk about in a second. So here's the fails, here's the near fails, here's the alerts, the neutral coins, I'm sorry. Here are the alerts. Watch them grow. Look at that. Just the momentum is building for the altcoin bull market. And here are the details. Here's the specific ones that are now in hold stance. And we're getting a few of them that are topping out. We want to watch when they are finishing and closing. We definitely want to be winding down our alt portfolio. There's a good time to hold alts. There's a time to wind down that portfolio. And this spreadsheet is going to tell us both. Australia, Indonesia. Wow. I love YouTube. Now, I want to finish with a bit of my story from 2014. I can't yet because prices are moving up, yet they haven't moved up yet on the test net. You can see it doesn't have the liquidity. It doesn't work quite the same. Let's zoom into the 1 minute view of this. Here's the 5 minute view. There's our breakout occurring as we're talking. So if this trading stuff is helping you, if this analysis and going through these specifics as it's happening, thumbs up on the video. Hit the subscribe button, share it on social media, get it out there, help me grow the channel. Now I want to finish with a story of a lesson I learned from my past self, from one of my old trading. It was actually a little book that I wrote, and I was kind of shy to talk about how I got into this trading. I started out in the 1990s, but in about 2009, I discovered that you could trade like a stock trader in the game RuneScape. And I was practicing my trading system and practicing my videos and everything in that game. And I went from 13 million gold pieces to over 2 billion gold pieces just by trading. I became stupendously rich. And then it's money in the game. It's nothing I could do with it. It's like real pretend money, not this virtual money. And anyway, at that time, I wrote a little story to myself. And it was how to overcome fear and greed when trading on the Grand Exchange. And I read through this book the other day and I went, wow, this is phenomenal, because it talks about, I can teach you how to make money with trading cryptocurrencies. We can look at the price charts. We can find these powerful chart formations and we can buy into them before the prices rise, everything that we can indicate. But even with a great trading plan that's proven to work, most traders cannot successfully earn a profit. So this is most important to me when I see a profit slip away that I didn't earn. I'm saying, hey, okay, I had the trading plan, but I didn't make the profit I should have. Why is that? Because without knowing it, they are fearful and greedy at exactly the opposite times that they should be. And so this book, and it is a great reminder for me. It provides a shift in perspective that will help you avoid greed and fear at the wrong times when you are trading, and help you be successful and greedy and fearful at the correct times. So this isn't on how to make money day trading or anything. This is focused on making much bigger profits by investing over the long term. So I give more detail about the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations and some of the risks and things to be aware of in the 1, 2, 3 bottoms. Phenomenal extra information here. And then I went through all of the details about fear and greed and how it unseats you and how it ruins your trading and causes losses and missed opportunities. It was a perfect read for me. So I went through, I edited, and I put it onto Amazon Kindle for $3.99. So this is within reach for everybody who is frustrated with this in trading. If fear and greed have been unseating you and tripping you up when they shouldn't be, this book is for you. And I'm super keen to get your reviews on this if you find this helpful and as eye-opening as it was for me. I wrote this 5 years ago, and when I read it now, I needed it. It was a perfect reminder. Loved it. It was great. Let's zoom back into Litecoin. Anyway, there's a link down below the video where you can go and order that book from Amazon. I'd be delighted if you did. EOS, that's ADA. EOS, even though it's looking dumpy here and I want to sell it, it's actually, I have to say that the indicators are probably going to, this isn't very definitive on the 5-minute time frame, but this is looking more positive. As this cross is positive and goes up from this cross here, and the RSI is going up and the other ones are going up, they all work together. This is a very good moment. Look at Ethereum taking off right off of that, blasting off. So it was a good buy signal. You could start off small, get your stop above your entry, and then be thinking to add on. But there are other markets that haven't moved yet. So when we see one of the main ones moving and breaking out of key formations, and we see Tron doing the same thing, it is phenomenal. Bitcoin, it's just sitting there. And Trader Ratuto, high five to you. You were saying it all the way along, saying before back here, and I was in denial, right? Or let's see. It must have been right through this period because I was getting out of my denial through here. For sure. Now I'm out, and it's okay. You know what? It's okay, because if we go back and we pay attention to the long-term trades on this, there is so much opportunity ahead of us that this is where people are going to lose their money. I can tell you when to get into it, but when to get out of it, how to stay into it, what do you do? All those things, you've got to have those practice out ahead of time. It's like a pilot jumping in the airplane and taking off and then saying, okay, what are the procedures for landing? What if there's a crosswind? What if there's a downdraft just as I'm landing? You got to have all those things planned out ahead of time. You know, you can learn how to parachute in about 10 minutes, right? Stand this way, spread your arms out, pull the chute with this hand. When you're coming down to the ground, flare just before you land. There, your parachute lessons are done. But you would never jump out of a plane with that little preparation. You would practice that over and over and over and over again, because if something screws up and your life is in danger, if something screws up with your trade and your trade is in danger and you're in a losing trade position, it's a time of stress for us. And when we're stressed out, we revert to habit. We revert to those things that we've repeated over and over and over again. And if you've repeated worry and anger and fear about money over and over again, it's going to be difficult to hold these trades when you're in profit. And it's the most difficult time of trading. And so you've got to practice. When am I getting out of this and why? And you're going to have to sit there and sit on your hands. It gets difficult. And I can't wait to go through that entire difficult phase as we are unfolding the cryptocurrency bull market, as this is going up and we have all that FOMO and FUD going on up and down and up and down. Our trading system should filter through that stuff. We shouldn't pay attention to it. We have our criteria. Those are the things we should be acting on. And I'm talking to my own subconscious as we say that too. Now, I guess that runs it out for here for today. If there's a specific coin you'd like me to take a look at, we can brush through that, but I'm going to wrap it up here pretty quickly. And I want to prepare and do the Bitcoin detailed video. I want to get into the detail of Bitcoin and what is coming up next. All right, well, I'll wrap it up here for today, and I'll see you guys over on Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord chat, be sure to click on the link down below. If you haven't already, grab the Ultimate BitMEX tutorial, 99 cents. It goes into great detail. It is fantastic, and I'm very happy to have written this out. It's helped my own trading improve. And of course, How to Overcome Fear and Greed When Trading Bitcoin is also on Amazon Kindle now. So I will leave you guys for now. We'll tune in. Oh, actually, I can't yet. I've got to move this up as close as I can. Okay, cancel that. There, so the order is amended right up close to the market. There we go. Our order got filled. So just by the movements here in this market, let's go back to our Litecoin. Zoom in on this and see what's going on. So now that the order has been filled, I never want this to come down and hit my stop loss. The same way I never want to use the seatbelt in my car. When I'm driving along, I never hit a building and use the seatbelt to stop me. I always put on the brakes and get out of the car peacefully. And it's the same thing when I put on the beginning of a trade. I don't want to ever have it come back and hit my stop loss. Never mind go down and get liquidated. I have already made all of the mistakes I need in my trading if I am letting that happen. And there's a whole bunch of things to learn about the very beginning of the stage of a trade. If you are letting yourself hold trades that are losers, if you are getting stopped out, if you are getting liquidated, be sure to come over and check out our courses. I would love to go through this stuff with you. It helps me in my trading, and it's phenomenal stuff. Anyway, I can go on, and I will, over on our Discord chat. I will post screenshots of this and update our... And I'll post updates about our testnet trade and see how it goes. That's it for this time. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see you on the next live stream, probably tomorrow. Cheers.